Hi guys! So I was supposed to pick my top 10 favourite TV characters and I really struggled to narrow it down to 10. So what I did was I've done 6, my top 6, my definitive top 6, and then I've got 4 more men and 4 more women. So we'll start with the lower end. I am going to have to read them off my phone. Marnie Michaels from Girls, Meredith Grey from Grey's Anatomy, Leslie Knope from Parks and Recreation, Jess Day from New Girl, George O'Malley from Grey's Anatomy, Michael Scott from The Office US, Matt Smith's Doctor, and Nick Miller from New Girl. I really like all those characters. I'm not going to go into why, but they're all great. Okay, my top 6 characters on TV. I don't really do Lost first. Okay, Jack and Kate from Lost. Jack is one of my oldest favourite characters. He was my first favourite character on Lost, and then he stayed my favourite until the end. I think he is just... I know Abby hates him, so I don't want to say too much nice stuff about him. He's interesting and very flawed in like a real way. I think he's a good leader, even though he doesn't want to lead. He takes that on and he does a good job, and he's brave, and he's a great surgeon. That's good. Let's not forget how many of them would have actually died if he hadn't been there to save their asses. I don't know, I always tend to like the protagonist on a show. Kate Austen from Lost. Again, I loved her from the very beginning, and everyone seems to hate Kate. There aren't many people who like her. There aren't many people who wanted her to survive the series. I just think she's really interesting. I think she has a really interesting backstory. Again, she's brave and she's really tough. I really like Jack and Kate together. That's probably why I like them both individually so much. The series finale was immensely satisfying for me because of who my favourite characters are. Okay, let's move on to my Game of Thrones characters. Technically it's cheating because they're book characters, but they're on TV, so like, you know. Jaime Lannister. When I first started watching Game of Thrones, I literally couldn't stand Jaime Lannister because he threw Bran out of the window in the first episode. Oh, spoilers. I think you've all watched it. But you know, he's introduced and he's not a nice guy, and he's still not a nice guy. His history is so cool. Like, I really have grown to love the Lannisters more than almost any other house because I find them so complex and fascinating, and Tywin is just a monster, and it's nice to see how that's reflected on all 3 of his children. I just like Jaime. You can't really justify any of his actions except that, you know, he does everything for his family, and I like that. You know, he would die to protect Cersei and probably Tyrion, and that's a nice quality to have. I also really like his relationship with Brienne because it's humanised him to such a great extent. When he goes back for her and saves her from the bear. Ugh. My next Game of Thrones character, and possibly my favourite female character of all time, is Sansa Stark. I love Sansa because I feel like if I was in Game of Thrones I would be Sansa. You know, I'm not the type of person to wield a sword, and neither is she, but she's still really tough. She deals with being held hostage in King's Landing and being mentally and physically and emotionally abused by Joffrey. You know, she kind of just sits back and lets it happen, but you know, she's learning about politics and lying and how to get by in those kind of situations, and I think that's really clever. And also really brave. And yeah, I just like how, you know, she started as this naive character who wanted to marry a prince, and then kind of all that falls away and she's left with not much. She's just, I want her to win the Game of Thrones. Okay, next is Carrie Matheson from Homeland. Carrie is like a huge mess a lot of the time. You know, she goes completely rogue and does whatever she wants to do, and that often involves illegal things and stupid things. But sometimes she is, you know, quietly brilliant and she knows she's right. I like Carrie because she is so complex and because she is like a CIA agent, but she also has an emotional side. She's stupid sometimes, but it's in pursuit of what she thinks is right. She's just a great actress. Claire Danes is a great actress. That's probably why I like her so much. Okay, number 1, and I think probably number 1, actual number 1, top of my TV characters list, is Blaine Anderson from Glee. Blaine could kill someone and I would be able to just hand wave it away. He can do no wrong in my eyes. He literally cannot do anything wrong because he has done things wrong on that show, And here he is at the top of my list. He is charming and adorable, and he has a great dress sense. I like everything about him. I will probably find him difficult to know because he can be bossy and he can be really petulant and he can be straight up annoying, and yet sitting here as a viewer I just find it all fantastic. I think what we've come to know by now is that I'm absolutely terrible at explaining why I like anything. See you all next week! Bye!